The universal truth, understanding the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. These ancient words, originating from the Hermetic teachings in the Emerald Tablet, are a profound invitation to see the world in a deeper, more interconnected way. They remind us that the microcosm, the small, intricate details of life, is a reflection of the macrocosm, the grand scale of the universe. The sane intelligence that creates the stars also shapes the atoms in our bodies. Today, we're diving into the meaning of this universal law. We'll explore how it aligns with scientific discoveries, ancient wisdom, and timeless teachings from mystics and philosophers. Most importantly, we'll uncover how applying this principle in our daily lives can lead us to greater awareness and harmony. The principle of correspondence. Known as the principle of correspondence, this Hermetic law suggests that all levels of reality, whether cosmic or personal, are interconnected and reflect one another. Essentially, the universe operates on a fractal structure where each part mirrors the whole. Consider this. The cells in your body carry the same genetic code that defines your entire being. Each cell functions as a miniature version of your body, much like a tiny universe. Similarly, the movement of galaxies mirrors the motion of atoms, electrons, and nuclei. These parallels reveal that universal laws operate consistently, whether on the vast stage of the cosmos or within the smallest particles of matter. By understanding this principle, we begin to see the universe as a mirror. If you want to understand reality, start by observing yourself. Just as the macrocosm impacts the microcosm, your inner state shapes your experience of the world around you, transforming within to transform without. This is where the principle of correspondence becomes a powerful tool. It teaches that by changing what is within, we can influence what is outside. From a spiritual perspective, the phrase, as above, so below, reveals the unity of all existence. Jesus Christ, in the Gospel of Luke 17:21, said, "The kingdom of God is within you." This echoes the Hermetic idea that just as the universe contains the potential for everything, we too hold within us the seed of the divine. Our minds are not only observers of the universe, but also an extension of it. Each of us is a microcosm, a small universe. As we grow and evolve, we harmonize with the greater cosmos. This realization brings with it both power and responsibility. By nurturing our thoughts, emotions, and mental state, we influence the world around us. The philosopher Plotinus once said, "The more a man knows himself, the more he knows the universe and what is beyond it." This timeless idea reinforces the Hermetic teaching that to understand the cosmos, we must first explore the universe within ourselves. The lens of perception, our inner state, our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, acts as a lens through which we perceive the world. If we are at peace, the world feels harmonious. If we are in turmoil, the world seems chaotic. This understanding highlights that the boundaries we imagine between ourselves and others, or between humanity and the universe, are illusions. In truth, we are part of a vast, interconnected whole. What happens within us is always interacting with what happens outside of us. By transforming our inner world, we reshape our relationship with the outer world. Mystics have long recognized that understanding as above, so below, means acknowledging that the cosmos and the self are inseparably linked. Carl Jung and the collective unconscious. Swiss psychologist Carl Jung brought modern insight into these ancient ideas. He described the personal unconscious as a reflection of the collective unconscious, a reservoir of universal images, ideas, and archetypes that influence how we perceive and experience life. Just as the cosmos is constantly in motion and transformation, our inner universe is dynamic and ever-changing. By exploring our inner world, we not only uncover hidden aspects of ourselves, but also connect with the archetypal forces and universal truths that shape existence. Spirit and matter, a unified whole. The spiritual journey is not about escaping the physical world, but integrating it with the spiritual. The principle of correspondence affirms that spirit and matter, the internal and the external, are not opposites but complementary aspects of the same reality. When we align our inner world with higher truths, we create harmony in the outer world. This integration leads us to the realization that we are not separate from the universe. We are a reflection of it. As above, so below is more than a mystical saying. It's a reminder of our profound connection to the cosmos and our power to influence both our inner and outer realities. By embracing this principle, we take the first step toward understanding the unity of all things. The principle of correspondence, bridging spirit and matter. Paracelsus, a renowned alchemist and philosopher of nature, once said that understanding yourself is the first step toward understanding everything else. For alchemists, self-knowledge wasn't just a personal goal. It was the gateway to uniting with the universe. They believed in transforming their inner lead, fears, doubts, and limitations, into gold, represented by wisdom, peace, and self-mastery. This transformation aligns us with the divine flow of the universe. This alchemical process is about more than personal growth. It's about harmonizing what is above with what is below. It reveals the interconnectedness of spirit and matter, helping us see them as two sides of the same coin. Understanding the principle of correspondence. The principle of correspondence invites us to view the universe as layers of reality that mirror one another. It teaches that different planes of existence are deeply connected and that what happens on one level creates reflections or echoes on others. Take the apparent duality of spirit and matter, for example. While they may seem like opposites, the principle of correspondence shows they are reflections of the same essence. The material world we see is a projection of ideas, energies, and forces operating on the spiritual plane. Matter is not separate from spirit. It's a shadow, an expression of the spiritual energy that shapes it. Spirit is the causal plane, the source where all ideas and energies originate. Matter is the reflection, molded by invisible laws and patterns of the spirit. Think of spirit as the projector and matter as the image cast on a screen. Without the projector, the image wouldn't exist. Similarly, the visible world exists because of the movement and presence of spiritual energy, how spirit shapes matter. Everything in the material world starts with spirit. Intentions, visions, and thoughts create the foundation for change in the physical realm. A great example of this relationship is DNA. Invisible to the naked eye, DNA holds all the information needed to build a complex organism. It's a perfect reflection of the correspondence between spirit as the source of information and energy, and matter as its physical expression. When we align our minds and intentions with spiritual principles, we can influence matter. This isn't about controlling or forcing change, but about working in harmony with universal laws. By understanding that matter is a denser form of spirit, we see that true transformation begins at the level of our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions. For example, someone seeking prosperity must first align with abundance on a spiritual level. This means cultivating a mindset of self-worth, confidence, and gratitude. As these internal patterns strengthen, they gradually manifest in the material world. It's not magic, it's alignment. Life is a dance between spirit and matter. Life is a constant interplay between spirit and matter. The goal isn't to reject one for the other, but to harmonize them. True alchemy lies in integrating the spiritual with the material, recognizing that every part of physical life has a spiritual counterpart. At the same time, spiritual growth finds its ultimate expression through our actions and experiences in the material world. Practices like meditation and introspection help us cultivate the spirit, creating a strong foundation for a life filled with purpose and meaning. By nurturing our inner world, we naturally shape the external world in alignment with our higher intentions. The principle of correspondence also shows us that the division between spirit and matter is an illusion. Both are expressions of the same universal truth. Just as light passing through a prism splits into many colors, spirit manifests in matter without losing its essence. Seeing the universe through the lens of correspondence. This understanding brings freedom. When we honor physical life, we are also honoring spirit. The purpose of the spiritual journey isn't to escape the material world, but to see it for what it truly is, a reflection of spirit in motion. The Hermetic maxim, as above, so below, is more than a philosophical idea. It's a concept rooted in the natural world. Look around. The same patterns we see in the smallest scales of nature, like the structure of an atom, are reflected in larger dimensions, such as galaxies. The microcosm mirrors the macrocosm. By recognizing these patterns, we begin to understand our place in the universe. Each of us is a part of this cosmic dance, and by aligning our inner world with spiritual truths, we contribute to the harmony of the whole, integrating spirit and matter. Ultimately, the principle of correspondence reminds us that spirit and matter are not separate. They are one. Every thought, intention, and action on the spiritual plane finds expression in the material world. By aligning ourselves with this understanding, we can lead lives that are not only meaningful but deeply connected to the universal flow. This integration of spirit and matter transforms the way we see the world and our role within it. It's a reminder that every aspect of life, from the smallest detail to the grandest vision, is part of a greater unity. The connection between the microcosm and the macrocosm, the correspondence between the microcosm and the macrocosm isn't just symbolic. It's deeply embedded in the very patterns that shape matter and energy. One of the most striking examples of this is the phenomenon of fractals. Fractals are repeating patterns that appear at every scale, from the tiniest particles to the vast structures of the universe. Take the spiral symmetry of a nautilus shell. Its structure mirrors the same spiral found in galaxies, both shaped by the Fibonacci sequence, a mathematical principle that governs growth and organization. This universal repetition demonstrates the principle of as above, so below, showing that the natural world is built upon a consistent and universal order. This mathematical structure, often referred to as sacred geometry, is like the language of the cosmos. It underpins everything, from the arrangement of a flower's petals to the paths of orbiting stars and the cycles of life itself. Sacred geometry reminds us that there's an intrinsic connection between all things, governed by patterns that repeat endlessly across scales. Cycles in nature. A reflection of universal order. Nature operates in cycles that mirror one another, from the tiniest organisms to the largest ecosystems. The life cycle, birth, growth, death, and renewal, is one of the most universal examples. Just as the seasons transition in an endless loop, so do the stages of life for every living being. Consider the human body as a microcosm of Earth. The circulatory system mirrors Earth's hydrological cycle. Just as rivers flow into oceans and return through rainfall, blood flows through the heart and circulates to nourish the entire body. This principle of flow and return illustrates how the same intelligence organizes both the macrocosm, Earth, and the microcosm, the human body. Even the rhythms of our daily lives reflect this correspondence. The cycles of sleep and wakefulness, cellular activity, and even planetary rotation follow the same patterns of flow, balance, and renewal. These processes aren't random. They're governed by the same universal principle of correspondence. Atoms and solar systems, mirroring patterns. Another fascinating example of as above, so below, can be found in the structure of atoms and solar systems. An atom's nucleus, surrounded by orbiting electrons, resembles the Sun with its planets revolving around it. This similarity has inspired both scientists and mystics to suggest that the universe might be holographic, with the same patterns repeating across subatomic and cosmic scales. This idea points to an ordered universe, where the small and the vast are reflections of each other. Pythagoras, the ancient philosopher and mathematician, believed that numbers are the foundation of all reality. His insights suggest that both galaxies and the smallest particles are shaped by the same mathematical and geometric principles. Physicist David Bohm, a contemporary of Albert Einstein, proposed a similar concept. He theorized that reality is an indivisible whole, where each part contains the essence of the entire system. Much like a hologram, every fragment reflects the greater reality, reinforcing the idea that the universe is deeply interconnected. Benoit Mandelbrot, the mathematician who discovered fractals, demonstrated that these repeating patterns are fundamental to many systems. When we view the universe through a fractal lens, every small part seems to be a smaller scale version of the whole. This reveals that, as above, so below isn't just a philosophical idea. It's an observable phenomenon woven into the fabric of nature. The law of correspondence in daily life. The principle of correspondence also applies to our personal lives. Our external world, our health, relationships, and even financial condition is a direct reflection of our inner world. Beliefs, thoughts, and habits shape the reality we experience. Every small action we take, every habit we form, is an expression of the mindset we carry. Over time, these small actions accumulate and create tangible results in our lives. Just as a stone dropped into a pond creates ripples, our thoughts and habits send waves that shape our physical, emotional, and even financial reality. For example, a person seeking better health must start by aligning their internal beliefs and habits with that goal. By nurturing a mindset of self-care and making consistent choices that support well-being, the external reality will begin to shift. This principle works the same way in all areas of life, whether it's cultivating abundance, fostering meaningful relationships, or achieving personal growth. Living the connection between spirit and matter. The principle of correspondence teaches us that the microcosm and macrocosm are not separate but deeply connected. The cycles, patterns, and structures we see in nature are mirrored in our lives and our inner worlds. By recognizing this connection, we gain the power to align ourselves with the flow of the universe. Life is a constant interplay between what's inside us and the world around us. The key is not to deny one in favor of the other, but to bring them into harmony. When we understand that the external world is a reflection of our inner state, we can begin to take control of our lives in meaningful ways. This principle also reminds us that small, consistent changes in our mindset and habits can lead to profound transformations. Just as fractals repeat the same patterns at every scale, our inner growth reflects outward, shaping the reality we live in. Ultimately, as above, so below is not just a mystical phrase, but a powerful truth about the interconnectedness of all things. By honoring this connection, we can live in alignment with the universal laws that govern everything from the tiniest particle to the grandest galaxy. The power of a disciplined mind, transforming habits and life. A disciplined mind is like fertile soil. It nurtures the seeds of healthy and consistent habits. Someone with mental discipline and clear goals reflects that inner order in their daily actions. This translates to regular routines, physical exercise, balanced meals, and practices that strengthen both mind and body. When the mind is organized, the body follows, becoming strong, healthy, and balanced. But when the mind is disorganized, constantly distracted, overwhelmed, and unable to set priorities, it often creates harmful habits. This lack of discipline manifests in the body through excess weight, chronic fatigue, and even health issues. When internal discipline is absent, we tend to seek immediate comfort. Processed foods, binge-watching shows, skipping workouts, and neglecting sleep might provide momentary relief, but lead to long-term physical and emotional decline. The mind-body connection. Habits reflect beliefs. Imagine someone who regularly procrastinates, avoids exercise, and ignores their nutrition. Their physical state, whether it's feeling constantly tired or struggling with weight, is often a reflection of their inner disorganization. This is a powerful example of how the mind and body are interconnected. As the Greek philosopher Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Every small, repeated action shapes who we are. For example, someone who spends just a few minutes each day on self-care learning, or exercise is planting seeds for a future filled with growth and vitality. These small, consistent efforts add up over time, creating big transformations. To the outside world, a major physical or mental transformation might look sudden or dramatic, but in reality, it's the result of many small, intentional acts. True transformation happens when we recognize that both success and failure are processes built on daily choices. Small actions, big changes. A simple habit, like drinking more water every day, might seem insignificant at first, but over months, it can improve skin health, boost energy levels, and enhance overall well-being. This is the principle of correspondence in action. Small changes in the microcosm of your mind, like a shift in how you think about health or discipline, create ripples that extend into your daily life. These changes build over time and eventually transform the macrocosm of your external reality. If you want to change your body, improve your health, or build better relationships, the work must begin inside. Transform your mindset, align your beliefs with positive goals, and your habits will naturally follow. As these habits take root, they shape your external world to match the changes happening within you. Aligning purpose and habits. Clarity of purpose is the foundation for creating lasting habits. Those who know what they want to build, a healthier body, a stronger mind, or a more fulfilling life. Develop habits that align with those goals. A strong body, a focused mind, and an organized life are reflections of a soul with purpose. The principle of correspondence teaches us that ancient wisdom isn't just theoretical, it's practical. It offers a guide for living a more balanced, authentic, and intentional life. When we align our inner world with our outer actions, we create clarity, emotional stability, and overall well-being. Just as the universe organizes itself into cycles of harmony, we too must seek balance within ourselves. Life is a reflection of our inner world. The universe operates like a melody, with each of us as a single note in the grand harmony. What we carry inside, our thoughts, beliefs, and habits, shapes the reality we experience. These invisible threads weave the fabric of our lives, reflecting our internal state in the world around us. The principle of correspondence reminds us that we are both the sculptors and the clay. Our consciousness is the material, and our actions are the tools that shape it. Just as a calm lake reflects the stars above, life mirrors what we project from our inner selves. If you seek peace, cultivate serenity within. If you desire strength, build it through discipline. If you want love, let it grow within you, becoming a flame that can't be extinguished. In the end, the reality we experience is a direct reflection of the energy we create. By mastering our thoughts and habits, we align with the flow of the universe and take control of our destiny. Through small, consistent actions, we can transform not just our lives, but the world around us.